Though some hostages have been released, there are still many people suffering at the hands of Hamas and their terrorism. Sexual violence with no end is being perpetrated against Israeli women, and this isn't being talked about enough. Even today, during this debate, we need proof, and indeed this is proof of how inhuman the actions of Hamas are. These cruel acts must come to an end. We have heard the UN Secretary General call for a permanent ceasefire. Protection of civilians, yes, but when we're dealing with a terrorist group like Hamas, we cannot negotiate a ceasefire. The important thing is to look forwards. The people of Israel need a credible option for a life in peace and freedom. But the Palestinian people also need to have a credible future as Israel's neighbour with a state. All states in the region can contribute to this, including Israel, and we can also contribute to this in our political acts, how we use our resources politically, socially speaking, economically speaking, and only in this way can we seek a solution.
Demirel, blue card. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you, Mrs. Beer, for your remarks. But I do have a question for you. You said it's not the right time for a permanent ceasefire. Well, I was wondering, how many people do you think still have to be killed in Gaza? How many more children have to cry over their parents being killed? Even the German government are saying that we need a long-term ceasefire. Don't you think it's cynical what your party and the German government are currently saying? Don't you understand how the rest of the world thinks when you're talking in favour of Ukraine day and night, but when it comes to Gaza, I'm afraid the speaker's been cut off.
Distinguished colleague, I can agree with you that no person should die, but we're talking about Hamas, a terrorist organisation, and for decades it's been putting pressure on its own people. So when will you finally understand that we're talking about terrorism, we're fighting terrorists? This is not about a war against Palestinian civilians.
Herr Reinhard Bütikofer, Sie haben das Wort.
You have the floor.